Hello. Forgot I was supposed to say hi. I'm just adjusting myself. Happy Valentine's Day. I dressed up for a little date. So, really, I have no engagements today. It's kind of an eerie piece for me. Because today is a difficult day. If you've been following me long enough to know... Yes, we'll get to the cards, don't worry. You know what time it is. I've had my inner child visiting me because if you've been following me long enough, you know that Valentine's Day 1993, my father announced that he was leaving our family. So I have this sense of, like, anticipation because I started out loving this holiday. In general, I love the colors. I love pink and red put together, just in like little splashes of purple. I don't know, it's just sweet. I love this holiday. I love getting to shower my feelings on people, sprinkle love and gifts and things. So, since it's a love reading, I'm definitely going into the love cards today, so don't worry. I just remembered my window's open, and what if the neighbors start getting rowdy? So, hold on. I think, I just wanted to say this. I feel like attachment styles mean a lot more than love languages. I feel like everybody has a little bit of every single love language, just in different varying degrees. So anybody can say I have all 5. But an attachment style tells me a lot more about how to make you feel seen. So, I don't know, I'm just putting that out there. Nobody asked. Hello. We're doing a love reading for Valentine's Day. I have somebody I don't recognize in my chat, so hello. So with love readings, I don't normally specifically dive in for that reason, but it is the day it is. So let me indulge my own curiosity. What kind of advice can we get for folks who have love on their mind, whether it's collectively, personally, in general? I think this is my first true, except for outside of, my readings with my clients who are interested in their relationships. I've done plenty of relationship readings, that were specific for that person. But collectively, I don't do collective love readings very often because it's just not really my style. It's too twin flamey, and the whole 2012 twin flame thing really turned me off. So, making sure I stay decent. Anyway, I've said my card prayer, but I'm going to say it out loud for everybody because I feel like it's nice to refresh in everybody's psyche the way I pray. So I ask that you invite your guides from the other side, the energies that you work with, your deities, your guides of choice, your consultants on the other side. They're invited into this circle as long as they have our highest good in mind, and then oh my god, why am I stuttering? I never stutter for this. Keep that in note. There's probably some interference today. So we only want entities that have healthy, highest good energy. None of these dark energies that have evil intent are allowed. We can have benevolent darkness only, but not shadows that want to cause disruption and ill intent. That was weird. I asked for my ego to be removed so I can deliver these messages clearly and concisely, as intended from Spirit. Let me step out of the way for the message. I don't know why I'm feeling 4 cards. Okay, so I don't take reversals with this deck and just generically in general right now. So we are going to pull what we pull. So, is my mic still on? Good. Okay. 4 cards. General love advice for the collective. For this crazy Valentine's Day with this entire stellium in Aquarius being weird as fuck. Unconventional, weird, rebellious. Oh my god, I'm literally getting unconventional, weird, and rebellious as I fucking flip these cards over. Okay, so again, I've predicted strife today multiple times, so I'm not really surprised to see this sense of ill at ease-ness. So we're starting with the 8 of Cups. There's a lot of us having to draw a line in the sand, walking away from things that don't serve us anymore. Honestly, this is about satisfaction emotionally. This isn't a grass is greener on the other side thing, even though it's going from like an area of desolation to an area like a city. Don't look at my cuticles, all right? I mean, they're in pretty good shape, but like I'm about to get my nails done in a second, so I feel kind of naked. So 8 of Cups. You know, there's all these textbook definitions, but I like feeling into it. Okay, so the next card, while we feel into that, 5 of Wands. More strife. Like I was just saying, discord, strife, hard feelings. You can hear my dad's phone ringing in the other room. I don't have very thick walls, so I have to do my best. This 5 of Wands is... It feels like it's too crowded where you're at. So if you feel like, you know, you're supposed to be in a relationship with one person, there's too many people competing for focus and attention in this combination, these first 2 cards. I feel like that's a good reason to walk away. It's just too much of a challenge. I've heard so many people say that they're just tired. And here's the thing. As we go on with these cards, we move on, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it doesn't really matter what falls away at this time. It's fated. We have finally the King of Swords. So putting this all together. Ooh, I dropped a card. Okay, so that was the Wheel of Fortune falling. Look, like, just the fact that we've stood our ground is going to put us in a better spot through fate. I feel like this King of Swords doesn't really get involved in petty things, even though, because it's like a higher mind, somebody that's more intelligent than the average crowd. This is feeling separate out of it, and that's really, lone wolf energy is so Aquarius. So this is so not loving feeling. I've maybe, You know, I think what I'm seeing here is a timeline that people are collapsing where things were more codependent, more toxic. That's why it looks hard. We've been talking about our soft girl era and our healthy masculine era for so long now that I think we're finally getting sick of our own shit and stepping into the stream of fate and the energy of strength, mental fortitude. I've read or heard in the past that the suit of swords is actually the most wealthy of all energies in the chart. Because weapons that were this ornate and this sturdy cost money to get. It's, a lot of times we think it's the pentacles that are money, but it's more physical. It has more nuances than just wealth with the pentacles. So I feel like this is a mental / emotional upgrade. And money, yes, but I feel like this has to be a foundation change. Inward, I don't know, as above, so below, as within, so without. At this point in the reading, I promise you, as the reader, I'm like freaking out because these aren't romantic cards. And I want to be delivering something sweet. But that's really, these are about endurance and trust and faith. If it's feeling upstream, if your relationship with this person that's on your mind is feeling challenging for no reason, then you need to do the Eight of Cups and move away from that. Because that's the fate that will bring you towards something. I always say when I get my heart involved in something and it doesn't come through, and I'm starting to see that it might not come through for me like I wanted it to, I always say, if not this, something better. Because maybe I have a limited human perspective on what's best for me. Like I have a general idea of how I want it to feel. But the way it plays out is none of my business. That's the Wheel of Fortune. The way it plays out is none of our business. And it's up to us to choose wisdom over control. These cards are about, of course, the Eight of Cups is a volunteer or an exit. It's a conscious exit. It's choice. Because it's like we don't want to be. I keep seeing. This is a metaphor I see a lot when I get this pressure on my chest when I look at something like that looks like this to me, or I'm listening to somebody talk. I get this image often of getting used to discomfort incrementally. And that happens with narcissistic relationships or toxic relationships where, we don't like something, but we sort of like think and make excuses for people and put up with it. And then it's like, it gets to a point where we're absolutely so fragmented and so exhausted and so miserable that we're falling apart. And I think this Eight of Cups, Five of Wands with Wheel of Fortune, King of Swords is kind of telling us that it doesn't have to get to that complete fragmented point before we walk away. If the discomfort is present, we don't have to wait for it to increase and become like frogs in a frying pan, right? Metaphor with that is frogs are amphibious, which I believe, that means they're cold-blooded. Pretty sure. If I'm getting, they are amphibious, but I'm trying to remember this metaphor correctly and scientifically because otherwise it won't make sense. The frogs will adapt their body temperature to suit their environment. So every time, say, like this frog would be in the frying pan, and we're slowly heating it up. The frog will not jump out of the frying pan. The frog will adapt to its surroundings until it dies. Because it's not internally regulated. This is such a great message for Valentine's Day. The internal regulation is your job to make sure that you're paying attention to your discomfort level so that you don't stay in environments that are toxic for you. That's what we're being asked to pay attention to. Is your nervous system getting dysregulated? Well, then you need to do something about it, and it's probably not going to make fans of your behavior. People probably won't like it. It might cause a little fighting, but honestly, I want to say if it does cause fighting, remember Mars-Pluto conjunct with Mercury and Venus is about to join. Really, really, really watch your words. Really watch your words. Be very concise on how you speak. Be forceful. Be, what's the word? It's not aggressive. It's assertive. Be assertive. Have good boundaries. No is a complete sentence. The stars are on your side for good boundaries. If people are trying to dig at you, humiliate you, knock you down a peg, be terrible in some way or another, just take a step all the way back, remove yourself, and realize the Wheel of Fortune is here. It's going to be a fate for them that they might not expect, but ultimately you'll have the leverage here if you just allow fate to take place of the action. So your job is to internally regulate yourself and make sure you're paying attention to the surroundings and that you're staying in tune with your higher alignment and not just adjusting incrementally to things that are ultimately going to kill you. I posted something in my stories this morning from Shervin 333. Shervin. He's marvelous. He's got a lot of wonderful things to say, and he runs a wonderful supplement company that I really appreciate. His supplements are great. But he was talking about the toxicity in relationships and how they will kill you. They dysregulate your nervous system to the point that your organs can't work. And you don't have to have sex with somebody for this to happen. So I just want to say this is a love reading. And, this might be a relative that you love. This might be a roommate. This might be a sibling. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can be anybody in your life. That's why I think it's not specific. There are people who make your solar plexus spin in the wrong way, and you're supposed to pay attention to that. Okay, so that's really our big advice. Now I want to get an additional message. I'm not putting those cards back into the deck. We're going to get different cards this time. Okay. So that was the general love reading message. Now, I want to say if things are looking more positive and you're, because I feel like there's a polarity system here involved with this Valentine's Day. So that was a general love reading. Now there's going to be a segment of people who are in relationship, beginning a relationship, or deeply in a relationship, and they're wondering where they stand in this because they're not in a position to walk away. So I want to talk to them. So give me some cards, and 3 cards. We're going to do 3 cards for this section of people that are in what appears to be harmony. You know, be building up a situation with somebody where it could be love, or that they are already established in a relationship and they're looking to get advice about their intimacy with the person they're already established with. 3 cards for those folks. Pluto can be great for love. Pluto can be really great for undying devotion. So we'll see how it goes. How's let's get some cards for our lovers, not just our general. No reversals. Wow. You guys, this is all fire. Moon's in Aries right now. I believe it's probably conjunct Chiron or close to it right now. So we have the Ace of Wands. It's very sexy. This is sometimes called the Ace of Dicks. It's new energy. It's sacral. So it's like our sacral responses. We'll know. I think the advice to pay attention to our body physical responses is being reiterated here. We have to pay attention to if it's our solar plexus spinning or if it's our sacral having a firing response, something that's exciting, something that makes you feel creative. Like, yes! You might literally physically get hard or wet. I wonder if it'll let me say that. It's like, oh my god, what did I just do? So, I don't know what just happened. So, it might be that yeah, there's like a lot of passion. We have the Nine of Wands next and then the King of Wands. So, this is the Nine of Wands next, okay? So, it seems like we're not, even if we're in a loving position, we're not fully out of the friction state. It could be that we're having to meter the passion for whoever we're with, whoever we care about, who we're building with. It has to be like, there's all this like newness, and the newness is being tampered down with security in a way because it's the King of Wands to end, and he's always secure. He's not really a action oriented guy. He's kind of a having fun, being creative, and seeing how things play out kind of guy. He's like kind of mysterious, having fun playing with the mystery kind of guy. So I feel like this is full of spirit, like the drive of wanting to penetrate, the drive of wanting to maybe hold back your emotions because it's too early, or it's like because it's more appropriate to slow down. So I feel like even though it's good to be slow, take things incrementally, don't overwhelm each other. Don't overwhelm your nervous system, because I feel like nervous systems can be overwhelmed right now. So I feel like it's really important to take time, and if you're feeling passion like this, and it's giving me cards like that, take time to get to know them slower. Go slower, be deliberate, milk things. It's like literally I'm getting savor while being mischievous and having fun. There's like this balance because it's fire energy. It's like, don't lose your sense of excitement while you're metering your energy. Where we were not wanting sorry about that. We're not wanting to love bomb or rush things. We kind of want to sit in our, this is very satisfying. This is as opposed to where we started with the general. Even though it's like, generally, we're allowing fate to fall into place still, regardless, with this love thing. This is still active. But it's like, instead of worrying so much about strife and walking away from strife, it's more like we have intense emotions still, like really intense things going on, intense feelings instead, but we're still having to take a step back and, well, it's not clinical, it's just being deliberate with it instead of spraying it all over the place and like wanting to use every drop and like no. You know, it's like I'm going to take, it's like I'm, imagine yourself eating something yummy, and it's like it reminds me of eating cake or Skittles. For some reason I got Skittles, like one piece at a time, and savoring the flavor of each baby bite, like the texture of the cake as it gets on your mouth, and like the sponge of the cake kind of degrades in between your teeth, and it's like kind of soft and chewy. Or we have the crunchiness of the outer shell of a Skittle and the chewy inside, where it's like this really sharp flavor that gets soft as you chew, and it's kind of like just really makes your saliva glands. So it's yummy, okay? I'm getting like, that's why we need to slow down with the lover situation, the lover collective. Because it's like, that yumminess is easier to sustain over a longer period of time if you take your time right now, today, for Valentine's Day. So, that's your word for the general and the lovers. So, there's no reason why not to get excited. I think even this Five of Wands is, you know, it's got its passion. I just feel like it's really important to pay attention to your solar plexus if you're not in a perfectly secure feeling connection with somebody. My stomach is growling. I'm kind of fasting right now. I've been fasting all morning, and just to make this, I had a piece of cheese so I can function. But yeah. So that's the message. I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful fucking Valentine's Day. I know the transits are fucking harsh. So we're doing our best. None of us know exactly how to love properly the first time. And it might be your first time really meeting somebody at this depth of intimacy. So be kind to yourself as you navigate this, and be kind to them as they figure out how to receive you, because receiving is a lot harder for people than giving. So try to do a little bit of both. Happy Valentine's Day.